Today, it's the National Football League. It's Week 6 of the NFL on EA Sports. Versus Russell Wilson and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Autumn has come to upstate New York, and we find ourselves at Bill Stadium at Orchard Park. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Buffalo Bills. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. Play action. Now it's Allen. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
At the 45-yard line.
Allen off the play fake. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. And that'll bring up second down.
Leads to 2nd and 10.
On play action, Allen. And this one is incomplete. Metcalf once again the target, and it'll bring up third down.
Incomplete. Brings up a 3rd down.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. They'll roll him out right. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. Way home for the Bills touchdown. DK Metcalf. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
5-yard line.
Now the former Washington Husky, here's Myles Gaskin. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. On the return, it's White. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. A first carry here for Joe Mixon. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Forced out to his left. He'll get this one complete to Davis. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Gabriel Davis, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Their own 25-yard.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. They're already looking up at a 16-0 deficit. Still plenty of time to go, 1st quarter. But work to be done as they come up 1st and 10. The throw down the field. Campos running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
A 28-yard.
A really good pickup of 28 yards. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the Bills' 49-yard line.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson, and he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Kyle Van Noy leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. It's loose. It's out. This is picked up by the Bills. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
But that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. Allen, he lost the football. He's into the clear. Past the 20. And this is taken into the end zone. A full recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that, and a great play for that defensive unit.
16.
Extra point good by Hopkins, and that trims the lead down to 9. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Bills take over 1st and 10.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation that their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it. But you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it. And that's what you don't want to do. I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense. That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move,
and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. That's Yannick Ngakoue with a sack. On play action, Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14. Steps away to his left. They will find Davis. That's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before it crosses over out of bounds. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. Throw in the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
On second down, here's Mixon. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
It always helps when you get great run support from your safeties, and when you get one who can actually read the play and get upfield and shut it down before it gets going. That's exactly what you're looking for.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. From the gun, it's Allen. They're going to take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Gabriel Davis, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over him.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
25-yard line.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. Let's see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
It's a gain of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Kyle Van Noy picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Palardy now on the punt as he sends this one away. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
And here's Allen off the play fake. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
He was brought down at the 26. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Here's Mostert. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
He'll buy some time right. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. DK Metcalf with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bills will extend their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half for your partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. The 20. And in for a Cincinnati score. Robbie Anderson, 78 yards. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Bills take over first and 10.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? But everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. Off play action. Allen sliding out of the pocket. He'll find Metcalf. And now off to the races. Down the right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. DK Metcalf on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bills will add on to their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better fix figure something out, and soon. The Bengals drive about to get going. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Here's Gaskin. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
And it's third down.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
7-yard line.
Meanwhile, down in Dallas, an update from there. And it's the Cowboys that have moved out to an early advantage. I would definitely imagine we'll hear more from that game as we go along. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
He was brought down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side. But it's certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully take inside, to see the ball in the running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Gain, but all for naught on the payment.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And it's a room to run now. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
On first down, they go with Mostert again. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now.
Is going to go down. Back at the... And we've hit the 2-minute mark. Action.
Third down.
We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Flush to his right. He will take this all the way out past the 40-yard line. You think about it, Charles, this is not a quarterback that's used to running the football a lot. In that time, he was loose with it, had it knocked free.
He always has to think to himself that there's always going to be traffic around because of what you just said. Not that elusive, not going to get into the open field very often. Remember, he's not Lamar Jackson, not Michael Vick back in the day. Always has to protect the football because there's always going to be people around. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game. and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Slant pass to Boyd. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Now the Bengals go in this first half. After the sack on first down, Wilson. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. On third and goal, Wilson. And this is caught at the end. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A big play, but still not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Hopkins' kick is good. Drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't and force the field goal attempt that went through.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had. Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Allen now looks to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And in deep ball. Metcalf once again the target, but it's going to be second down.
It's second down and 10.
Throwing again. Allen going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. DK Metcalf on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Bills add on.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow, because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure, because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Wilson. A throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. Boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out and start the third quarter. If things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime.
Tyler Bass to kick off for Buffalo.
The Bucs set to get the football first, and they trail here as we get started in the second half. Taken about 7 yards deep, and the half will begin with a touchback. They'll start the third quarter here on the ground, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Yard line.
Now it's Wilson. Out of his hands quickly to Higgins. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. T. Higgins, 76 yards. And the Bengals gain a bit of respectability. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. And able to get this out to the 25.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. They'll have a first down past the 40. There he goes right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Raheem Mostert, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills continue to pour it on. And now Sean McDermott's made the call. They'll go for 2. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Able to find Higgins. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. His 2nd catch. This one not quite as dynamic as his first. And it's 2nd down.
30-yard line.
From the gun, Wilson. The man is Higgins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
A gain of 11 on the play. First down, Cincinnati.
On first down, Wilson. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Kyle Van Noy. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson. And a quick throw here. That's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. A 40-yard punt, no return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Buffalo set to get the football back here.
And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Allen. To the right side and complete to Metcalf.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Mostert.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
And that one goes incomplete on the drop.
Incomplete.
That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down. So they're going for it, and here's Allen. And this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked off around the 41. Past the 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TD. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. So they get 1 score back, but still a long ways to go here in this 3rd quarter.
Bengals.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Bills take over 1st and 10.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Looking for additional yardage, and again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter. 36 yards on the play. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll find Gabriel Davis. They'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Gabriel Davis, 39 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And now Sean McDermott's made the call. They'll go for 2. They'll let Mixon try and run it in. And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep it.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. That sack by Tremaine Edmonds.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated.
And he's going to go down again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Wilson. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Trey Hendrickson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this way.
And this is caught for the Bills touchdown. DK Metcalf, 46 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Cincinnati set to take over once again. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. At the 23, it's 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun, Wilson. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Jordan Evans leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
3rd down.
To throw is Wilson. Throwing on 3rd and long. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Tristan Hill.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week deep. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Raheem Mostert, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And this offense is running away with this one. So Allen breaks the huddle, and his guys will go for 2 here. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic. A lot of fun to watch.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Jordan Evans able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
It's 3rd down.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Wilson. Pressure comes, and down he goes. Jordan Evans able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards. There on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
And it would appear that the open week a week ago came just at the right time as they have dominated the proceedings here into this 4th quarter.
The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
The tackle man.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll try and run here with Mostert. First down and a little extra from Mostert. They'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Raheem Mostert, 53 yards. And this offense continues to pour it on. Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That 3rd one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
And out now, here come the Bengals. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And this is going to be brought back for the Bills touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his...
And now nothing but green ahead of him. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Wilson. This pass complete to Higgins. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a 1st down.
And a Bengal 1st down.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the Bengals are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. 11 more yards that go around. A 1st down as well. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Again, Wilson. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah, college, high school?
College, not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
And here come the Bills. And judging by our scoreline, they have 6-0 in their future as they look to grind this one down a little. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll try to eat some clock with Mixon. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. Josh Allen, he says that he wants to continue to perfect executing the run-pass option. Looked pretty good there.
And he's put in the minds of all people trying to defend him that his legs create big plays. So guess who benefits?
His running back.
No doubt about it. We just saw it there.
24 yards to gain there. Another 1st down as well.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
It's the 6. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
1st down. 1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
And the Bengals
on 2nd and goal, 1 man stands in the backfield, and that's Mixon. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
2-yard pickup brings up.
Here's a run with Mixon, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower. I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments. And they take him down. The Bills get to him.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he's got it complete to Anderson. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. One last shot for Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will write a finish to this ball game. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they